So in addition to generating a raster layer mask, I can generate a vector layer mask. Let's look at that. So here I have this photograph, this car, and I'm going to grab this picture of these clouds, select all, edit, copy, click on the picture of the gray car, edit, paste. And I want the car on top of um, the clouds, but first I'm going to change the size of the clouds. Control T to free transform, and then I'm going to hit Control minus to zoom out until I can see where the handles wrap around the photograph. I'm going to make sure my lock button is on and stretch that up. Actually, I can turn that lock off in this case and distort the clouds because they're just clouds. So then I hit the enter button and I've resized that picture, and I'll hit Control 0 to get it fit on screen. Let's zoom out just a little bit. And so I want to change the order of these layers. The bottom layer is unlocked. If it were locked, I'd unlock it. And I want the picture of the car on top of the clouds, and I'm going to replace the background of the car with the clouds. Now, I've already looked at layer masks, so I click this button here. I can create a layer mask, and then I can grab my paint tool, and I can paint into the background and reveal that background, right? I'm going to undo that. I'm going to undo the layer mask. I could also make a selection of the car. If I'm in here, I'll grab my object selection tool. Let's use it in the lasso configuration. Select that, and then I could click the mask button, okay? And that works pretty good. I can clean up the mask a little bit. I'm going to undo that. Now, I'm going to go to select and choose deselect. And I'm going to activate the mask again by clicking the add layer mask button. Now, I can paint into the layer mask, but I can move one step further into a vector mask. I click the same button again, and I've now activated a vector mask. I want to click into that vector mask. I have my properties palette. This is my layer mask, and I can paint into that layer mask with my paintbrush. Or I can transition over into the vector mask, which is the second box. I'm sorry, the third box over. And I can create a vector mask. I'm going to click on my shape tool. I'm going to set it to path. And I'm going to set it to combine shapes, and then draw a vector mask over my artwork. Now I can paint into the edges of this mask with my paintbrush if I want, or I could leave it hard edged. And so the idea is that I can create a vector mask for trapping objects, or a vector path. And I can also, of course, if I wanted to, I can move this mask on the screen. Right now, all the elements are locked together. And I could apply layer styles to this. Let's say I'll bevel and emboss. I'm going to bevel and emboss that surface. Let's pull the bevel back a little bit. Let's pull the size back. Let me click cancel. That's not working the way I want, so let's turn that off. Let's look at putting on a drop shadow. There we go. So let's do that. Let's look at that drop shadow. So as you can see here, I can create some very interesting design elements using those vector um, paths and vector masks.